Hey guys, happy Friday. Lacey Lee Elliott and of course Jasper, my sidekick. Welcome to my channel. Just a really quick video today. A lot of you have been asking me, why exactly do I want to get my PAL, which is the possession and acquisition license that you need here in Canada to get a firearms. Now the conversation's been quite heated on my other social media channels. If you're not following me on Facebook or Instagram, please find me. It's just my name, Lacey Lee Elliott. I'd love to have your opinion and comments there as well. But I thought this would be a good opportunity to tell you why I would want to do this. Rules and regulations are very different here in Canada than they are in the States. So I can only speak to kind of what's going on here, and it is a little bit different. Now, a bit of my backstory, I think it's super important. A couple of years ago, I had a brain tumor, and when I got the all clear that I was healthy, I was like, fuck it, life is short. I sold my house. I bought my very first travel trailer RV. It was a 2600 RB Imagine by Grand Design, and I spent a year living full-time pretty much in my trailer. I had some amazing adventures, but decided it really wasn't for me, at least full-time, and I rented a room and kept my trailer just for travel. Now, I never felt unsafe. For me, for protection or self-defense, I carried mace, I had a knife. I always set up outside a pair of men's big work boots, and I had like a big collar and a big chain and a recording of a Rottweiler that I would play that sounded like I had a big scary dog in my trailer, and I never had any issues. Last March 14th to be exactly, everything really shifted for me and how I feel about just safety in general. I'd been renting a room with a friend. Kris was away working in Kitimat for 3 weeks out of the year and home for a week. So I was renting a room with him, and I also was taking care of his dog, Mago Blanco, which again, if you were following my adventures, that was a dog I brought home from Mexico. It was the end of February, beginning of March 2020 that COVID-19 and coronavirus was really starting to creep up a lot more in the mainstream news. We were seeing people passing out in the streets and people in hazmat suits, and the whole world just felt kind of eerie. I got up early one morning, which is my normal thing. I'm up at 4:30 or 5 to walk Jasper, and it was super stormy. It was stormy and the power went out. I'm gonna play for you guys right now a quick video. I recorded it on Instagram. Already the world was feeling a little Twilight Zone-ish, and to be out at 5 in the morning in this horrible storm with the power out felt like the zombie apocalypse. I'll be honest, this is really kind of freaky. There's no power. It is so windy. There's no people out. With everything going on with the virus, it does feel weird this morning. I had a bit of an anxiety attack after this, and for those of you that have anxiety, and let's be honest, for a lot of the women out there with these crazy overactive minds, in this moment, it felt like the world was literally coming to an end. I called Kris, who was away at work, and I told him I was terrified. And he said, don't worry, the guns are here and the key to the guns are there. And I was like, what? There's guns in the house? I had no idea how to feel, what to think about that. My first thought was, if I needed a gun, I don't know what to do with a gun. My second thought was, well, what if somebody or something got into the house and got the guns? Like, I had no idea. So it was literally a year ago that my brain started thinking realistically about, I don't know anything about guns. Fast forward to the fall of 2020 and the election. COVID-19 restrictions. The world felt like a crazy place. The 9 months prior had really felt, again, like Twilight Zone, like just weird stuff was happening. people's anger was starting to pop up. People were starting to become aggressive, and especially down in the States, the world just seemed like a scary place. Now, fast forward until Christmas and New Year here in Canada, and new gun legislations and rules were popping up. And again, there were a lot of heated conversations here in Canada, and I couldn't voice an opinion. I didn't know what to say or how to feel because I didn't really know anything. And a lot of people that were pro-gun or anti-gun were getting involved. And what I felt, and this has been my issue with COVID from the beginning, is that more of my rights and freedoms were being infringed upon. More of my rights as a Canadian citizen were being taken away. Again, I didn't really fully understand the whole scope of being a licensed gun owner here in Canada and what was going on. And I believe that asking questions is the best way to get the information you need to make decisions. And I also believe that knowledge is power. So last week I took my firearm safety course, and I'm going to tell you guys more about that in another video. But I have some interesting things to share with you guys about gun ownership here in Canada. Yes, originally I thought getting a firearms license and a gun would allow me some self-defense. I also thought, with the way the world is going, if I want to get back out in my RV, the possibility of having to hunt was something that I needed to consider. I don't like the way things are going. I don't like where things are shifting, and it seems to be getting a lot worse, and I wanted to be prepared. So it's interesting to know, to all of my single RV friends that I've met along the way, specifically here in Canada, and those ladies, and we're talking about self-defense. It's really interesting is, first of all, you legally cannot own a gun here in Canada for self-defense. Now, as I went down the rabbit hole, it's actually illegal to have anything on your body or in your possession here in Canada for self-defense. Now, Google this to get some more information, but this is my basic understanding. So I had a knife and I had some bear spray. If I was out camping in the woods and something were to come up and I had these items in case of an animal or something to this extent, it would be perfectly acceptable to have these items on me. However, if I was in my RV in the city in a RV park, having mace or a knife for defense is actually against the law. I don't even really know how I feel about that. The world as we know it is changing, and I want to make decisions and choices based on my opinions, the information that I've gathered, and I feel like that is slowly becoming harder and harder. I completed my firearm safety course, I passed the test, and I have decided that I'm going to submit my application to get my license. I still don't know if I'm going to actually go out and buy a gun of any type, but I think I am going to look into doing some hunting and or doing some target practice. And what I can honestly say, and you're going to hear me say this again throughout the videos when it comes to firearms, if you're on the fence about guns, take your firearm safety course, because it really will open your eyes to what is legal here in Canada. I can honestly say that all of these restrictions are not going to have an effect on the negative effects of guns. The people in this country that are buying guns legally, are following the rules, are following the guidelines, and doing what they're supposed to be doing to keep firearms, ammunition safe, secure, and doing things the right way. It's the bad guys that are breaking the laws, that are not following these regulations, that we really need to be concerned with. And I can honestly say that all of this regulation and changes that the Canadian government is trying to bring into our country isn't going to prohibit the bad guys from doing bad stuff. Anyway, it's really, my opinion on guns and firearms has really shifted after taking this course, and I'm looking forward to sharing a lot more of that with you guys. If you enjoyed the video today, please subscribe to my channel. As always, leave your comments below. I am going to be back in the RV once weather permitting, and I'm gonna just be sharing more of my journey. That's what my new branding, Lacey Lee Elliott for 2021, is all about, and that is that life's like a road trip. This really is just the story of my life, and the rebranding of Lacey Lee Elliott is that life is like a road trip. And I'm going to continue to tell my story, answer your questions, and just be as honest and authentic as I can with my videos. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you next week.